За дараагийн илтгэгч бол Канад Улсын Геологийн албаны гүйцэтгэх захирал доктор Женевиève Маркис гэж бүсгүй байна. Хүнийг энэхүү эрхэм хатагтайг тайзнаа хүндэтгэж өрж байна. Доктор Женевиève Маркис from Geological Survey of Canada.
Hello everyone, and thank you to the organizer for this session today. My name is Dr. Женевиève Markis, and I'm the Executive Director of the Geological Survey of Canada, located in Ottawa. The goal of my presentation today is to express the fact that we really would like to do more business with Mongolia. And yes, so the goal of my presentation is to tell you how we care so much about Mongolia, and the fact that Canada is one lead mining nation, and the fact that Mongolia is also one very strong mining nation. We have much in common, and I'm pleased to announce that in the context of the MinePro 2024 this morning, the National Geological Survey of Mongolia and the Geological Survey of Canada signed the first agreement. In order to do more business, yes, thank you. Thank you. That's the purpose of this international mining convention, actually. And in order to conduct more business with Mongolia, we have to explain who we are. So that's the goal of my presentation today. Explain who we are at the Geological Survey of Canada. So I will talk about our strategic plan. I'll talk about the strategic programs that we have for mineral and de-risking mineral exploration. And I'll talk about the future collaboration and future international collaboration. And I'm really looking forward to engaging with you in the future. So who we are at the Geological Survey of Canada. We're the oldest science institution in Canada with almost 2 centuries of history in Canada. We are also a very large science organization with 3 main pillars. We have the first pillar, all the mineral geoscience, for which I am in charge of. We have another pillar which is about the geoscience for land management and geoscience for climate and disaster resilience. So today, in the context of this mining exhibition, MinePro, of course, the focus is on today the mineral geoscience, because it's all great to have all this potential for mining investment and equipment. But after all, we have to keep in mind that the step number 1 in the upstream, it's all the geoscience research that are conducted by National Geological Survey, like the Geological Survey of Canada. So in terms of the mineral programs, the strategic outcome, of course, is to de-risk mineral exploration and attract investors to invest in the mining industry. In Canada, we have several mineral geoscience programs for which we have a lot of highly qualified personnel addressing key challenges to find new ore deposits. So we have a series of programs, and I'll go quickly, I will give a brief overview of each program so you will have an idea the type of business you can do in terms of geoscience research with Canada and also Mongolia. For instance, we have the Targeted Geoscience Initiative, where the first stakeholders are the industries, the mining industry, and the concept for the Targeted Geoscience Initiative is to develop modeling of the ore system. We have the critical mineral geoscience and data, which I'll talk a little bit more about because that's, after all, the topic of that session, the critical minerals. And the central focus, it's accelerating the discovery of new critical minerals deposit aligned with the ESG factors. We have the Critical Minerals Mapping Initiatives, which is the international component of the research on critical minerals. And I have a very interesting slide on the CMMI, the Critical Mineral Mapping Initiative. And also I'll talk about our newest programs in terms of geoscience research, which is the quantum geophysical research sensors that we have to de-risk mineral exploration. In Canada, we also have a program to address the geoscience in the north and in the Arctic. So since the focus of this session is critical minerals, let's talk about critical minerals. So in 2021, Canada launched a very ambitious agenda to expand our capacity for critical minerals. In particular, we exposed our list of critical minerals. Right now, we have 34 critical minerals on our list, but they're not all equivalent. We have some critical minerals that are actually more important right now today because they are more in demand for the global supply chain. So in particular, the Geological Survey of Canada, we're focusing on cobalt, copper, graphite, lithium, nickel, and rare earth elements. So that's very much aligned with many presentations that we heard today. In order to de-risk this mineral exploration industry, the Critical Minerals Research Program is organized in 4 solutions. The solution number 1 is knowledge-based. What do we know about those critical minerals? It seems like a very basic question, but it's important to know what we have in store and assemble this information in order to develop the new model. The system studies is the solution number 2. For which we are organizing our research by thematic research, and we are also looking at different sources of critical minerals that are unconventional, not traditional source of critical minerals like brines or mine waste, for instance. The third solution, which actually represents more than 50% of our investment, is our predictive geoscience, based on artificial intelligence and deep learning. What we're doing, we are assembling for each commodity all the knowledge that we have with artificial intelligence, and we're adding the layers of ESG so we can inform right away the investors about the ESG situation. And finally, it's the market assessment that is the 4 pillars of the critical minerals strategy for us. The critical mineral geoscience and data activities receive a funding of approximately 80 million over 4 years, but overall, all the investment in geoscience research at the Geological Survey of Canada has reached many hundreds of millions right now. So this one is only one initiative, but we have many more initiatives. And just last year, we launched so many intramural activities, but we also have many collaboration with our provinces and territories, with Canadian universities, with international universities, with mining industry, and also many international geological surveys, including now from today, the National Geological Survey of Mongolia. So one key presentation today talked about ESG. And in fact, this is also one key element of our strategy for critical minerals. So what we're trying to do here is with different layers of ESG, like for instance, public land use, water quality, air quality, biodiversity, climate change, etc. We're including those layers that are all geo-referenced with other maps of some commodities. For instance, this map here is a map of magmatic nickels assembled with deep learning based on natural language processing. So what we've done, we've scanned all the literacy that were produced for centuries. We assembled that in a geo-reference map. We added the layers of ESG, and now with the color swatch, we can exactly see which location in Canada would have the potential for high prospectivity for nickel with low impact on ESG. And this is the concept that we want to do with all commodities that are listed in the critical minerals list. And of course, this methodology can be expanded in the world. So it's not something that only one nation can do, but we will be stronger together if we enhance this methodology for ESG. Finally, I mentioned to you in my introduction that we're starting a new era with the quantum technology at GSC, and we're very serious about that. And in particular, this technology will use the profound nature of the electron, so the quantum nature of the electron for the geophysical sensors. So it's a real revolution that we're doing right now for geophysical. So we will bring a much more higher precision with magnetic airborne surveys with our new sensor that we're currently testing. So even though we're still in our infancy for quantum, this is not something that will go away. It's not a fad. And finally, what we want to mention, it's very important for us to share our data. That's the key strategy that we have. So that's also very important for us to share the data with the public, but also with other surveys of the world. Because after all, if all our strategy is based on deep learning and artificial intelligence, it means that we are super data hungry and we need to share the data together. That is, in fact, one component of the soon to be announced, not today, but soon to be announced, the technical assistance partnership that we are aiming to do with the National Geological Survey of Mongolia. And in particular, this collaboration will be focused on geophysical survey, and that will bring a lot of credibility and reassurance for potential investors in Mongolia, and also it will support Canada. I mentioned that the Critical Mineral Mapping Initiative is another one initiative that we're doing with international stakeholders. This one in particular is with USA and Australia. And if you scan the QR code here, you will access the most comprehensive database of geochemical in the world. So that's not just a small gift here. That's something really major. So all the surveys of the surveys of the world can access this information, and it's free. So now, right now, the first phase of this project, we're focusing on geochemistry, but the next phase will be focusing on geophysical as well. And you can find much more information about the GSC online. We have a website, our annual report. We have a pan-Canadian geoscience strategy. And I'm convinced that this is the beginning of a very impressive journey that we'll build together with Mongolia. Thank you so much.